Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. This is GGF, bringing you episode 1 of what's going to be a new, very spontaneous let's try / let's play. This is a game that I've had my eye on for a while. Kind of forgot it existed since it released. And just on a total whim, I just said, okay, let's go when I saw it. And I have no idea what to expect. It's kind of like a Gamebook / RPG. It seems very cool. We're going to learn it together, so get ready. This is episode 1 of Let's Try Roadwarden. We're taking a look at Roadwarden by Moral Anxiety Studio. And it's got good reviews, and it's an indie game, and quite popular, I think, but we're going to play it poorly, get to know it, get to learn it. Might be a lot of reading in this one, but can't guarantee how long it's going to go for, but we'll have some fun with it. The phrase soul carrier describes any shell inhabited by a soul, including humans, spirits, and the right themselves. Okay. Basic or pixel? Font, we'll go with basic. Describe attitudes, quote, show controls, dev support, tutorial show. Okay. Don't really need the controls yet. I'm sure they'll tell us in the game. New game. Everyone knows to stay away from the wilderness. Most people would never risk a lonely journey. Roadwardens not only accept this struggle, they embrace it. They deliver messages, assist merchants, burn human corpses, and if possible, get rid of the beasts and highwaymen. They live on the road, die young, or retire early. It's a dangerous job, but a respectable one, and it pays well. I leave the safety of the city walls. Pick difficulty mode. This choice can't be altered later on. Casual, standard, restrictive. For those familiar with RPGs, we'll pick standard, 40-day time limit, regular rule set. Usually I'm not crazy about time limits. I should have switched to advanced, but oh well. Alright, the wall is still standing. There are no wolves around, no stench of blood, good signs. This should be the place you're looking for. You were supposed to meet with a group of soldiers, but you hear no voices, no sounds of labor. The gate is ajar, but the camp isn't safe. It may keep away the goblins and pebblers, but not beast folk nor trolls, and the night is near. Your palfrey breathes heavily. It had a long day. I dismount and sneak to the gate. Let's peek inside. Take care of yourself. If you're hurt or exhausted, some actions won't be available to you. The weaker you are, the higher the chance you'll die in combat. Vitality 3 out of 4. You feel well. 30 minutes before dusk. Your heavy boots hit the ground and the pain of the long ride finally catches up with you. You stretch out, bringing your back and legs comfort. All you want now is a table, a decent chair, a nice mug of beer, and some warm stew. With any luck, your axe won't be needed here. I approach the gate slowly. If it's a military camp, it doesn't look the part. Plenty of wasted space. The fire pit is cold. 2 people are sitting at the table, tired and disheartened. They're looking in different directions, paying no attention to one another. One of them is holding a cup. After a moment, you notice the quiet humming. You recognize the melody of a light-hearted drinking song from the city harbor. They don't look like much of a threat. I can enter. It takes them a few breaths to glance in your direction. The first person greets you with the wave of his hand. There are bags under his eyes. His beard is messy. Despite his simple shirt, he's wearing durable, decent boots. A mace with the head covered in iron hangs at his side, but he doesn't reach for it. I take a look at the second soul. Just like you, she's wearing a gambeson, but hers is a bit loose, as if she took it off a corpse. Her head is shaven as if she's protecting herself from flesh-eating bugs. Her eyes are weary yet kind. She smiles. Considering the squad was sent here half a year ago, these 2 surely look the part, though there should be more of them. 8, you believe. I let them speak first. It's nice to see an unharmed traveler in this godforsaken crap hole. Makes me just a tiny bit hopeful. The bearded man's voice is strong yet timid. You'll be staying the night with us, I guess. We're soldiers, he and I, adds the armored woman. Her voice switches from half asleep to relaxed. We'll do our best to keep the camp safe, but if you were to take the first watch, it would be a huge help. Travelers ought to help each other, wouldn't you say? You think for a moment. To fully rest, you need a good sleep. Sure, leave it to me. Fantastic, she rubs her hands together. I don't remember the last time I had more than a half a night of sleep. The hours before midnight should be the calmest. Just wake us up if anything happens. The man flashes you a wide smile. It's easy to wake us up, just yell. He drinks from his mug. I ask them about their lieutenant. You wonder how to phrase your question. Whenever you meet new people, you can influence how they perceive you by selecting one of the attitudes. Friendly, be supportive and cordial. Playful, use a joke or a witty comment. Distance, hide your emotions. Intimidating, hint at a threat. Or vulnerable, be sad, tired, afraid, or hopeless. And we're asking about the lieutenant. We'll be playful. I'm sure you're busy, so if you could just introduce me to your lieutenant. The armored soldier spares you a polite smile. Next time better schedule a meeting. This place gets really crowded these days. She stands up. She pays little attention to the sword at her side. I figured you aren't here on a walk. Let's say it's me you need to speak with. Are you a messenger? Did you lose your mount? Or are you looking for help? I'm your new Roadwarden. My horse is waiting outside. Really? The soldier in the shirt leans forward. That explains how you got here in one piece, all by yourself. Better bring your beast here, adds the lieutenant. We have no hay, but I bet it dreams of dropping its saddle. A long pause. I'm Tulia, by the way. She reaches out her hand. It may be a trap. I shake her hand. How do you want people to call you? Leto? I'm Elzarian. Her grasp is confident, the shake is slight. Just keep your horse away from the tents. She steps away. We don't need it to smell its dung. There's this one issue. The soldier in the shirt also rises to his feet. We've no tent to spare. You'll have to use a blanket or something. No problem. I enjoy observing the stars. You walk through the gate. Your mount looks around and snorts anxiously. Not many humans could ride a horse. It's not only taller than you, but also bulky, as heavy as it is strong. You can get in the saddle within a single breath, but most people wouldn't know where to even begin. From every side, it's a wall of flesh. Horses were brought to the Dragon Woods from the conquests in the south. They can trot for a long time, but won't outrun some of the local monsters. Your palfrey needs you to survive, but without it, you too would be lost. It's my only companion here. I wanted to feel at ease. It takes a few steps towards you, scolding you with another snort. You scratch the bottom of its neck with strength and confidence, just the way it likes it. Humans see useful animals and even pets as monsters in disguise. Getting emotionally attached to them is believed to lead humans to their doom. But you know that horses need companionship. 1 second, guys. I speak to it gently and lead it to the camp. You end up next to the fire pit. Removing the saddle makes the horse nicker with relief. You take a couple of minutes to examine its back just in case. While the riding equipment is not that heavy for such a strong animal, with enough time it starts to chafe. You wish you had something better to eat than this shabby grass. You should look for an inn. I need to unpack. You haven't brought that many things, and you lost one of the sacks while fleeing the Crimson Corpse Eaters. Worst of all, you have no rope left, but maybe the soldiers could share one. Shouldn't cost more than a dragon bone. Aside from the travel set, you own a few valuable possessions essential for your trade. So we can go fighter. I spent my savings on decent combat equipment. I have a fine gambeson, an axe made of steel, and a reliable crossbow with quarrels. Mage, I have talismans that help me use my powers, as well as an iron axe and a worn gambeson. Scholar, I carry writing instruments and alchemical ingredients, as well as an iron axe, a worn gambeson, and a small healing potion. I want to learn more about the 3 classes. As a fighter, you'll have an easier time in physical challenges thanks to your superior equipment and hidden bonuses during dice rolls. You'll be physically more capable than the other classes, what opens unique opportunities during some social interactions. It's the best class for RPG beginners. The fighter's weakness is their reliance on physical strength. Your special abilities won't be available to you if your vitality points drop to 0. The mage uses a pneuma, a versatile but limited pool of energy points that can be spent to cast a few humble spells. Magic won't protect you better than a sharp axe, but as a mage you'll be able to heal faster while resting, detect magic in a mysterious area, distract a beast with a simple trick, and find a common tongue with other magic users. Using the mage's powers too freely will result in having no pneuma left when you need it the most. The scholar will know more about the world's mysteries than you, helping you take advantage of some unusual situations. Your character will impress the locals with its knowledge, and you'll be able to read the sparse written clues without anyone's assistance. Scholars struggle with combat more than the other classes, but with enough carefulness and exploration, you'll gain access to alchemical mixtures that will help you escape from many dangerous situations. I really like Scholar and Mage. I'm not crazy about alchemical mixtures to escape. That is kind of cool, though. Oh, what the heck. I think I'll be a scholar. I like to play as a scholar. Open your inventory to see your possessions. Taking hits will damage your armor. You can then fix it in various settlements. Armor 2 out of 4. It will stop the lighter attacks, but not for long. You unpack and inspect your belongings. Your water skin isn't pierced. The spare clothes are still here, just in case you take a look at your wooden bowl and mug, your cape, tinderbox, bandages, food rations, knife. Nothing special or too cumbersome. From time to time, your routine helps you avoid mistakes, but this doesn't make it any more exciting. Open your inventory. Unless you're occupied with another task, you can eat food, drink potions, and use your items from this menu. Be sure to click on each new item you receive, as some of them can have unusual applications. Okay, so we've got food rations. They consist of dried meat, crackers, nuts, seeds, fruits, and water, which spoil slowly and don't require additional cooking. Oh, look at this. The fresh snacks spoil fast outside of a cellar, while long-lasting foods are either expensive, like honey or dried meat, or require cooking before consumption, like beans or grains. Most travelers spend their nights in taverns, huts, and villages where they can trade for cheap, warm meals, or even eat leftovers for free. As a result, food rations are eaten only when necessary. Nourishment 2 out of 4, you experience no penalties nor bonuses. You can't use your inventory right now, so return. We've got a small healing potion. A set of earthenware bottles that contain small amounts of magical concoctions. You recognize a magical potion when you see one. It has a tall wax seal inside of which there's a thin stick, enabling swift opening. According to what you've heard, it's a healing potion, but you estimate that it's not enough to heal an entire shell. Healing potions may be the most desired liquid in the Dragonwoods, especially among travelers, hunters, and fighters. Cool, and we have one. Merchandise. A pouch with coins. The city artisans make coins by cutting dragon bones into slices. They are valued by merchants, though rarely used in the countryside. When it comes to trade, there's barely any connection between Hovlevan's marketplaces and the inns of the countryside. While city officials keep track of the value of different goods and oversee the legitimacy of used coins, the villagers prefer to barter or exchange their resources for work and other favors. A single coin is worth quite a lot among merchants. It allows you to stay and eat in a shoddy city tavern for about 5 days. Wow. For 10 coins, you'd buy a decent bow, for 20, a sword, and for 100, a squad of mercenaries will be willing to face a family of trolls. Wow. That's pretty cool how it's so valuable. Equipment, a gambeson, a padded defensive jacket made of linen filled with rags. It's the cheapest type of armor, yet surprisingly effective and as a result very common. Padded jackets are an essential piece of any armor set. They protect the wearer's chest, abdomen, arms, and thighs. The lighter jackets, called akatons, are worn under heavier sets made of alloys or chitin, while the thicker ones, known as gambesons, are worn alone. They are relatively easy to make, and while not all travelers can afford them or wear them for hours without getting tired, they are commonly used by guides, mercenaries, and soldiers. Your armor is not in best shape and could use some additional work. Alchemical ingredients. To brew new potions, you need to find suitable tools and some undisturbed time. Brewing is difficult, and your alchemical skills, while humble, are valuable. Whoa. A bundle of black woundwort, a caviar mushroom, a snakebait flower, a jar of cursed soil, a piece of flower-looking driftwood, a collection of fresh rare herbs, bog friend, a mushroom found at the wetlands, a basalt rock powdered on top of a mountain, a bunch of marsh bules, fresh rare herbs. Alchemy is meant to fill liquids with pneuma, replacing the required power and the mastery of spells with special ingredients, rituals, and instruments. Your collection includes rare liquids, plants, rocks, and animal remains. It's not enough to brew a powerful mixture, but without them, even the most expensive workroom would be of little use. Finding new ingredients takes a bit of courage, but it's also a part of your daily routine. Whenever you find something interesting growing near a road, you gather it for later use, just in case. Because of that, you also know the basics of herbalism, a less spectacular art which allows you to achieve predictable results without depending on unreliable pneuma. Travel set. Your sacks contain all sorts of useful tools, all sorts of odds and ends that you've taken on this journey just in case. A rainproof cloak, a set of bone needles and thread, an iron knife, a blade sharpener, a tinderbox, and a couple of tallow candles, a bunch of rags used to make torches, as well as a flask of oil, a pair of protective gloves made of thick leather. Writing instruments, parchment scrolls kept in tubes, ink, quills, and wax tablets with a bone stylus. Most northerners are illiterate, but they are happy to meet someone who can write a letter in their name. Most people in the Dragonwoods don't need to know how to read or write. The lessons are time-consuming and often expensive. The exchange of written texts is practiced among people who need to create complex, exact documents and keep them in good condition for years, or even centuries. This group includes priests, lawyers, inventors, officials, richer merchants, and high-ranking military chieftains. Less than 10% of society is literate, and the majority part of this group lives in the cities. Wow, and weapons. A simple battle axe. Traveling with an axe shows that you've learned how to fight humans and human-sized monsters. It's not masterfully made, but it's already been put to test and you've practiced with it for many days. Axes made of metals or alloys are among the most common weapons used by travelers. Not as safe as spears, not as fancy as swords, but their powerful strikes can get through animal shells, scales, or thick fur, as well as most armors. They are not great when it comes to parrying, but a single strike may be enough to leave a devastating wound. Still, the vast majority of them are used by lumberjacks, farmers, or carpenters, and pretty much every household in the countryside owns at least one, just in case. Their shapes, sizes, and used materials vary. Heads are made of stone, especially flint, bones, chitin, and massive seashells, while handles are almost always made of wood, antlers, and leather straps. And that's everything in there. There's also a journal. You need to confirm a note you're editing to save it. Notes are shared across all of your saves. Quests. No quest selected. Humans. No soul. Groups and places. Hovlevan. One of the greatest harbors in the Dragonwoods and the heart of the northwestern province of the 10 cities. I was hired by its officials and merchants. Whoa. So we have a bestiary, I think, because we're a scholar, perhaps. I'm not going to go through all of these right now. There's still more to learn about them. We'll just read them really quickly. Apes and monkeys, beast folk, corpse eaters, dragonlings, dragons, foxes and such, gargoyles, goblins, golems, griffins, harpies, howlers, hunt lords, large cats, pebblers, runners, saurians, spiders, treants, trolls, undead, unicorns, and wolves. That is an awesome list right there, son. Glossary, whoa. There's a whole lot here. Blood magic, curses and blessings. Wow. We can get deep into this, and we will. Most likely. Let's make a note. Wait, is this how you save? No. We don't want to make a note right now. We've got inventory, we've got archive. This shows, okay, what we've read and stuff all the way back to the very beginning. Settings. Did we check settings? Yeah, we checked settings. Let's save. Alright, very good. Bong bong. Let's return. From time to time, your routine helps you avoid mistakes. Oh, but this doesn't make it any more exciting. Return to the soldiers. Q is save, quick save, I guess. They're at the table again, observing your beast and chatting between themselves. Your stomach growls at the sight of them eating out of wooden bowls. One more bowl was put at a previously unused end of the table. You can sit down on a tree log. I join them and take a look at the meal. It's cold gruel, the meal eaten in times of hardship. This specific bowl is filled with water, hog millet, some strange-looking cereals, and blueberries. Welcoming you with a meal, even a humble one, is beyond their duty. Soldiers live with and for their companions, constantly on the move from one part of the realm to another, making sacrifices to protect their group as they face dozens of hideous creatures. Their lives are filled with discipline, hardship, and camaraderie. Roadwardens, on the other hand, learned how to work by themselves. They seldom engage in open combat, patrolling the same roads for years. They help the settlement stay in touch, but also maintain commerce, settle down, forge friendships. When there are no laws to follow, they use their own judgment. Different responsibilities, different lifestyles. Keeping your stomach full will make you stronger. Starvation won't allow you to restore vitality while resting. You can find your supplies in the inventory. We're 2 out of 4 in nourishment. I eat quickly, not focusing on the taste, and speak with Tulia. She's focused and chooses her words carefully. She looks away only when she gathers her thoughts. I'm afraid I can tell you less than I would like to, and less than I should. She nods toward the other soldier. As you can see, there's not a lot of us left. At the beginning of summer, there were 8 of us, including our previous lieutenant. 5 are dead, and 1 has run away in tears. We're also strangers in this land, adds her companion. Any piece of information may help me do my job. The man leans forward, his legs shake nervously. He sounds like a kid asking a bard to sing one more story, tell a joke, or do a magic trick. Whatever it takes to escape from boredom. His untrimmed beard hides a much younger face than you originally thought. What did the officials tell you? I expect not that much. No soul governs these lands. What I've discussed with the officials should stay between me and them. Or I share what I consider to be relevant. Yeah. You think how unprepared you are for this task. Since the area is too far away from Hovlavan, to keep it under control, you were warned that it's untamed and unknown. Who knows how many villages, bandits, or monsters may be found in these unmapped hills and forests. It's a place of both danger and opportunity. A great realm to spend the rest of summer. Actually, I'd prefer to keep it that way, says Tulia. The less you tell us, the smaller the chance that the commanders will send us here again. There's bitterness in her brief laughter. I'm fine with a soldier's life, you know. I just hope to find an outpost where I won't have to bid farewell to most people I know. It's understandable. The lieutenant drinks from her cup and crosses her legs, ankle on knee. Seeing the chair makes you doubt she'll ever find a comfortable position. Where should we start? Okay, start at the beginning, I guess. What should I know about the peninsula? I'll tell you what I know and you'll be the judge, says the lieutenant. How long did it take you to get here from the city? On a decent palfrey, I'd guess it would be 3-4 days. When you confirm, she continues. From here, you can reach the coast in about a day as long as you don't make any stops. Do you know the situation? Why no ships can get here? You nod. The sea route allows Hovlavon officials to keep in touch with the coastal villages, collect taxes, move the soldiers, collect lumber, deliver tools, but maintaining order on a wild coast such as this one is like filling the ocean depths with coins. Because of the rocks, you can hardly stop a ship 5 miles from the shore, and boats can't get much closer. She nods. I don't know much about fishing, but there's not that many people living by the shore, and they don't crave to stay in touch with the city folk. As she pauses, her companion carries on. No soul from the north ever came to the camp, but when we traveled to the roadside inn, Pelt of the North, they're happy to trade and to play dice. Pelt of the North. Why not just stay at one of the settlements? The man clears his throat. I mean, we're to guard this road. This camp is our post. And, well, he turns towards Tulia. She lowers her voice. Don't take it the wrong way, Alzarian, but are you a devout soul? Like most city folk, I believe that people should unite their strength to overcome the threats of nature and dark magic. Everyone will be judged for both good and evil deeds. I'm part of the United Church. For many years, I've supported a monastery that does its best to advance mankind's spiritual growth, artistry, herbalism, and magical research. I follow an order of truth. I'm from a small village. For me, the freedom of shell, pneuma, and soul are the main virtues of life. My community is unique and independent, and so are its members. I have a place in my fellowship. I have a strong connection to nature and spirits and follow the path of my ancestors. Some of my beliefs may be considered sinister and treacherous by the city folk. You'd probably call me a pagan. There's no evidence of the right's existence, and all the mystical tales are explained by magic. No, I'm not. I'll go with Order of Truth. For many years, I've supported a monastery that does its best to advance mankind's spiritual growth, artistry, herbalism, and magical research. I follow the teachings of an Order of Truth. Oh, I see. She hesitantly looks away. I don't know much about that river of faith, but I'm sure we're not that different. I'm a Unite myself, she says with a sort of pride in her voice, so she follows the United Church. The people here are disquieting. Every few words, she taps the table with her finger. Their traditions won't help them negotiate with the officials. Here, she starts to draw lines with her index finger, as if she's pointing at an invisible map. The peninsula is connected with roads like a big circle. In the northwest, you'll find a weird village at a bog. It's not exactly pagan, I don't think. It even has a priest who claims to be an eremite. You nod. She means a fellowship. They do crazy stuff, her companion chips in. They use the dead to cut down trees and dig in soil. Once I saw it, I begged to never return there. I see, and that was northwest. You've heard tales such as this one since you were a child. If an isolated settlement manages to survive without a city's influence, its customs and traditions grow more and more alien. Every generation learns how to adapt to the dangerous conditions they have to deal with, and the rustic pagan traditions muddy the river of faith. The United Church often warns its members about the crazy druids, necromancers, and blood mages, the bringers of doom, the traitors to humankind. Were you able to speak with these necromancers? You can see why we're not eager to go there if we could avoid it, the lieutenant chuckles. Maybe they'll be more welcoming to a Roadwarden. The roads are dangerous with little to no shelters. People need your help. The man in the shirt turns a bit and points a finger to the northwest. If you're heading to the undead village, you'll get to an inn first, and soon. Tulia nods. Pelt of the North is a safe place. You can talk with the innkeeper, the guards, ask them about the road. And how about the east? She stares off across the camp. Hard to tell. We went there only once. There are hills, forests, rivers. We saw a tunnel sculpted in leaves and branches, but we didn't enter it. Wilderness all around. Any monster worth mentioning? Anything that could catch my mount? We saw all sorts of beasts. The man starts to count on his fingers. Goblins, tree ants, cats large and small, runners, howlers, wolves, spiked boars, mouflon eaters, griffins, but we managed to stay away. Some could catch up with most mounts. Tulia glances at her companion. Though a palfrey should be fine. The trees are so tall that the flying creatures keep to the coast and mountains. There's not that many humans around, and the animals are busy fighting among themselves. They fight more for food than territory. The soldier cracks his knuckles. Don't provoke them and ride fast. Just count on luck. That's all I need to know. She nods. I'm afraid we can't do more for you. Any ideas what happened to the previous Roadwarden? Tulia takes a deep breath. Aren't you a bit late for a rescue mission? We haven't heard from him for almost half a year. The soldiers speak for a bit between themselves, trying to get their story straight. They confirm that he had stopped by their camp a few times, but stopped showing up at all in early summer. The bearded soldier starts to scratch the table with the tip of his knife without looking at you. I don't remember his voice. Always busy, drowning in things to take care of. He would sit somewhere, sharpen his sword, fix his loud mail, clean clothes, write notes on that wax tablet of his. Yep, and leave at dawn. Unlike us, Astarion never gets bored. Tulia lets out a joyless chuckle. He's secretive, but some of the locals speak about him warmly. Maybe he just doesn't like us. Sounds like you're not sure if he's dead or not. If anyone knows, they won't tell us. Maybe someone is keeping him in a basement. Oh, if anyone knows, they won't tell us. Maybe someone's keeping him in a basement. The man carves with passion. We haven't seen him or his saurian. Something ate them, I bet. The officials have hired you, right? They don't expect him to return. Richer Roadwardens often use four-legged meat-eating saurians as their mounts. They have to be tamed and trained since they're hatching, but unlike horses, can easily defend themselves from many monsters. At least your palfrey is fast and reliable and won't suddenly sink its teeth into an innocent passerby. Do you know what he was looking for? Maybe he left you a message? Neither one of us had any insight into his dealings, says Tulia. My predecessor left me with no clues. We also took a look at Astarion stuff. Wait, she raises her open palm. I almost forgot. She stands up and heads to a nearby tent. He has kids in a village near Hovlavan. I was planning to take all his things there. A pouch, a second spear, a decent bow, some potions. Quite a treasure. She glances at you. But I would much prefer to bring them the truth about their father. So you want me to find out what happened to him in exchange for his stuff? Here's the catch. She dusts off the hilt of her sword. We've hired a messenger to ask the commanders for further orders. Since she hasn't returned and you know nothing about her, she either ran away or something happened to her. She sighs with resignation. We are meant to stay here until fall. What do you think? Come see us, tell us what you've learned about the man, and we'll get back to Hovlavan together? You think about your real mission. You were planning to return to Hovlavan in the early fall anyway. If he's alive, I don't think he's going to be happy about me taking away all of his possessions. True, but he's considered dead. I doubt he'd begrudge you anything. And who knows, you may just find his shell lying on the roadside tomorrow. He wears mail, uses a spear mostly, maybe 5 feet tall but stout, long red beard, short hair, pale face, rarely smiles. We got a quest. She glances at her companion, but after he adds nothing, she sits down and stretches out her legs. So find out what happened to him. Dead, alive, left, just let me know. Journal. We have a quest. Find the Roadwarden. Before I became the Roadwarden of this peninsula, a man known as Astarion used to patrol these roads. If I manage to find out what happened to him and bring the news to Tulia from the southern camp, I'll receive his abandoned belongings. Astarion, the previous Roadwarden, he disappeared a couple of months ago under unknown circumstances. The merchants would like to find out what happened to him. Short but broad-shouldered, red-haired and beard, pale, wears mail, rides on a four-legged lizard. According to Tulia, he was a bit of a recluse, constantly on the move looking for work. Since he disappeared before summer, he may already be dead. His kids live near Hovlavan. Tulia, one of the last soldiers left in the peninsula, she's stationed at the military camp in the south. She plans to return to Hovlavan in the near future. Cool, and if we look at saurians, saurian is a term as vague as monkey and covers a vast range of four-legged creatures that resemble small dragons. Some of them are hunted for meat, especially the smaller ones, while the larger ones often attack humans, though prefer heavier animals that can satiate them for longer. There are many tales about the unique abilities that some of their groups may possess, but they are among the lesser understood creatures. There's still more to learn about them. Also, they saw tree ants. They are tall creatures with thick, hard skin and exceptional patience. They're slow, but thanks to their camouflage, every now and then they hit and knock out smaller creatures, then devour them whole. Since they don't have leaves, they usually grow among the wetlands or hills, where they resemble plants that struggle with those harsh conditions, though it's not a rule. What else did they see? All sorts of stuff, actually. Okay, so let's return and save. Quick save complete. Nice. Let's see how long we've been playing. 35 minutes, okay. I've lost my rope. Could you spare one? You're in luck. She heads out toward one of the crates and moves aside a large linen sack, revealing a rope. She brings it back and nonchalantly sits down on her chair. Take it. I was planning to leave it behind. I take a closer look. A fine rope, a regular rope made of hemp fibers. It's free. Buy for 0, or I take it and offer some food in return. Oh, it's free, right? Receive the rope. I guess they judge your personality and stuff, though. I should have offered some food. Oh well. Tulia nods. For now, you leave the rope on the table. What happened to your squad? The man shrugs. Bandits happened, and monsters. A strong hand, though, his companion chips in. When we got to the peninsula in spring, we saw some people living in this camp. The lieutenant decided to avoid it and look for an inn. We had to travel through the night for a bit. The bearded soldier scoffs and crosses his arms, but she carries on. If he had decided otherwise, we all would have died that day. The innkeeper explained that the camp is a trap, that the armed ones pretend to be soldiers, stay there at night, lose everything you have. Sounds like slave hunters. Tulia sighs. Very much so. They killed some and took others away, who knows where. They were letting the northerners go, hoping to avoid their wrath. It kind of worked, adds the soldier. We asked them for help, but they refused. We had to clear the entire camp on our own, and that's why the 3 of our people died. Don't exaggerate. It's not like the lieutenant didn't make a mistake. He wanted to get rid of them and take over their camp, but we didn't know our enemy well enough. We were outnumbered, and they had an ice mage among them. She looks at you. At least we cleared the road, saved lives. You mentioned monsters as well. Nothing that would surprise you. Those of us who survived the skirmish were young, too inexperienced to spend a summer in this place without a good leader, and they didn't trust me. One of them got caught by a tree ant. Another one ignored my orders to perform some sort of ritual hunt. So a werebear tore her to pieces. The last one tried to act tough, didn't tell us that he had cut his hand while cleaning his gambeson. She lets out a ghastly chuckle. We had to cut it off, and he was so ashamed that he decided to walk north, find a new life, disappear. Idiot. What a colorful journey. The man tries to drink from his mug, but it's empty. You've made this place safer. Barely. Tulia seems tired, and who knows if it was worth the lives and effort. Tulia, how did you become a lieutenant? It's not much of a story, honestly. She looks at her hand, which is currently rolling a mug over the table. In the city, there's a strict order of, what should I call it? She exchanges looks with her companion, but he can't help her. Well, leadership succession, I guess. Hovlevan's chief selects commanders, those select lieutenants, and those put their soldiers in order of priority. If a lieutenant dies, they get replaced by the next soldier in line. So you were his successor? Nah, not exactly. When we fought the bandits, our lieutenant was hit by a slingshot. His boyfriend jumped to help him, but failed to protect either of them from a spell. It was like a ball of ice that hung above them and exploded, piercing their heads, completely avoiding their shield. Really unpleasant. She pauses. And you were the 3rd one in line, is that right? Basically, yeah, she says without enthusiasm. I didn't plan to become a leader, though. I'll get demoted once we return to the city. I prefer to follow anyway. What was your squad's mission? The lieutenant looks into your eyes. You know, the usual, making the road safe, keeping people alive. I explain that it may be important for me to know what they have tried to accomplish. I can't really tell you. Let's just say it would be nice to have a reliable outpost somewhere nearby. A place where you can always find a group of fighters willing to protect you in the name of the law. She tilts her head back. Now, if you have any other questions... I'm gonna hit my water bottle, guys. Please bear with me. Anything I should know about this camp? The story is brief. Some merchants built the camp. Oh, the story is brief. Some merchants built the camp to have an extra stop for mules and donkeys just between the inn and the southern villages. There's plenty of grass here and a pond nearby. When the peninsula grew more dangerous, the camp stood abandoned, from time to time serving as a shelter for travelers. The bandits came here in spring, further paralyzing the exchange of information between the northern and southern settlements. Since these highwaymen are no more, the situation may reverse. Time will tell. You can sleep here wherever you want, the man concludes their tale, though don't expect to wake up without pain in your back. If you were me, where would you go next? The soldier answers quickly, to the inn, of course. He grabs his empty mug. The one northwest from here. If you can't afford the room, the main hall is free of charge. The locals rarely gather there. The northern road is much more traveled, mentions Tulia. But the hunters will tell you about this and that, and you'll have a chance to introduce yourself. The innkeeper can listen and knows many souls. Any tips on how I can make a good first impression on him? She smirks. Avoid cheap jokes. Stick to trade. Don't waste his time. Show him that you can be relied on. Okay, I'm going to quick save here, guys, and probably wrap it up. We're 42 minutes in, and I'm going to save here. And very interesting so far. Lots of reading, but very cool. There's going to be a lot of gameplay as well. Lots of mystery already and intrigue. Interesting stuff. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. It lets me know you'd like to see more as well. Yeah, and hopefully you guys like it enough to stay tuned for more. I plan on playing a bit. Well, I don't plan on anything. I just am playing it. It jumped out at me. I clicked it, and here we are. So I don't really plan these things. They're kind of spontaneous. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Do come back. We'll have more fun. We'll learn more about the game. Should be a hoot. And if you want to become a legend, guys, and a Roadwarden yourself, well, maybe not a Roadwarden, but a GGF soldier, you can become a member here on YouTube or on patreon.com/fluent. It's a huge help. I would greatly appreciate anyone who does that, and I'll shout you guys out and stuff. But anyway, we're going to save here. Successful first episode. Very cool, very fun. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, be well, live well, stay well. And much love, peace, and joy. Don't go anywhere, guys. Much more fun to be had with Roadwarden. Yeah, see you guys then. Ciao for now.